Great. I'm here because our children deserve better. In my lifetime, we will burn through 80% of all the oil. Our generation has enjoyed unprecedented luxury. It's our solemn duty to ensure that future generations, that our children, have something left. Our children need a great transformation. They deserve homes that don't require heating, like those built in Europe by the hundreds of thousands, more economically than the homes that we have here. We need to electrify the way we travel. An electric car uses less electricity than a gas car, believe it or not. Our children need to be sure their food and their water are safe. They need us to protect their healthcare system at a time when health threats are growing. And in a rapidly changing world where the tendency is for people to point fingers, our children, what they need most of all, is leaders who will face our challenges by bringing people together to build a brighter future for everyone. Instead, according to the Potsdam Institute, almost 90% of humanity will perish in the second half of this century because of what we're doing in the first. None of the other parties offer a plan, a realistic plan that's fast enough to give our children hope. We don't need another New Democrat suggesting that we should subsidize home heating. We don't need another liberal imagining that somehow we're going to make the tar sands sustainable. And we certainly don't need another conservative systematically destroying our very democracy. We urgently need new voices in Parliament. Voices who understand the scale of the crisis. Voices who know how to confront that crisis. Yes, it's for you, buddy. I'm sorry. Voices who are unswerving in their commitment to what is true and needed, rather than what is momentarily popular or sounds good. We need passionate and persuasive voices to lead people forward, and anything less is just not good enough. These goals have been my full-time focus for the last 6 years. I talk to scientists to understand what we're facing and what needs to be done. I meet with parliamentarians, congresspeople, and international negotiators to press for the change that we need. I reach out to community groups to build trust. I engage people at their doorsteps, at meetings, and on the street, and I take every opportunity to talk about building a just and sustainable economy that our children will be proud to inherit. I've been to every house in this riding more than once, keeping detailed notes. I know the people who live here. I know their concerns, and I have worked on their causes. I've played a big part in making Toronto-Danforth the greenest riding in Toronto. I also know our supporters, who came out in the last election to build the biggest team Toronto-Danforth has ever known, and I do not agree that that's why we went down to 6%. We followed the trend nationally. We actually beat the trend here in Toronto-Danforth in spite of the fact that we were in Jack Layton's surge. And we deserve credit for here, and all of the people who worked on that campaign deserve credit. Thank you. I also started the Toronto Greens, and I can lean on supporters from across the city to move their efforts here into Toronto-Danforth to focus on this election. And some of them are here today. And I'll reach out to my young Green friends as well. I'm an experienced candidate. I'm never stumped by policy questions. I will enter this race with over 1,000 signs ready to plant tonight. I have my bio in 12 languages spoken in this riding. And I will devote 24/7 to this campaign from today till Election Day. I've been approached by a couple of NDP members in this riding just in the last week who have said that they might throw their support behind me, and there's a reason for that. Their NDP candidate arrived out of nowhere, nobody knows him, and they don't know whether they can trust him. They know me, they know that I've worked on community issues, they know that I stand for social justice, and in this riding, if you can't get NDP votes, you can't win. So at this stage, at this time, in this riding, I am the candidate who can best deliver the hope for winning another Green seat in Parliament, and we need that seat. Please join me so that we can start this campaign now. Thank you.